Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Wednesday Wisdom. My name is JB Hilliard and these are mostly weekly video snippets designed to answer questions that you may have about estate planning or probate or any other legal area perhaps that we could assist you with. And this is a continuation actually from last week's discussion or video regarding your listing as the estate planner, as the drafter of your estate plan, that you should always list a backup fiduciary, a backup agent, a backup executor for your different estate plan documents. You have a primary person that if something happens to you, this person takes over, this person takes charge. But if something were to happen to that person, you need a backup. And then potentially list another backup to the backup. That's always my suggestion to my clients. And so in following up with that, it is essential when you are on the other side. So if you are the fiduciary, you are the personal representative acting in some capacity, that you are aware of what your tasks are going to involve or what your responsibilities are going to look like. Even if you don't know everything, because again, we don't know what we don't know, but it's essential, especially those of you who are do-it-yourselfers, and I have no problem with that whatsoever, but I need you to understand that you need to do your due diligence and do your homework and do your research and ask questions of those who do this on a regular basis, because we know that you don't, but you need to be aware of what is required. And I say all that to say I've recently run into a situation where there are a husband and wife owning property together as joint owners. The wife died several years ago. The husband probated her estate, which I thought was great that was done, because a lot of times that part isn't even done. And he did it as a pro se petitioner, so that means without legal counsel or without legal counsel being listed on the case. And so fast forward, now the husband has passed away, and so the adult children of the family who are left now to probate his estate have been thinking all this time that the property, the marital home that they both shared, was automatically transferred to his name when mom died because it was jointly owned. And although it was jointly owned, it wasn't jointly owned with rights of survivorship, which means that her share didn't automatically go to him when she passed away. And essentially, her estate, her probate case is still open because, again, as a DIYer, he may not have realized that there was another process, part of the process, where he needed to petition the court to be discharged from the case, to be discharged as administrator of her estate, and to close that case. That's kind of the process we have here in Georgia. We have a petitioning process to open probate, and then we have the ongoing process in the middle to administer the estate and whatever that all involves. And then the third phase is to close the estate. That's a formal process here in Georgia. Your state, if you live outside of Georgia, your state may have slightly different rules, and you would need to be familiar with those rules. But the fact remains that he unfortunately was not as familiar and did not submit to the court to close the case. And unfortunately, not everything was done in that middle phase that needed to be done in order to get to the point of closing, so that it's a clean estate and a clean transfer of title. So I know that there's a lot in that short explanation that kind of may have some of your minds muddled a little bit, but that's what we're here for, to kind of clear the mud and make sure that even if you're doing it on your own, that you're not missing anything, and especially something as big as this that will prevent them from selling the home as soon as they wanted to sell it, because they have to clear up some previously undone tasks. So with that said, well, let me just say one more thing. I know a lot of times it's budgetary constraints that keep us from hiring attorneys or hiring professionals to do the job that they need to do for us. But I will tell you, like I've told you before, it is always more expensive to fix a problem or fix a mistake than it is at the outset to do it right the first time. So with that said, as always, I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.